Okay, so in this video we're just going to be talking about adding and subtracting fractions. So I'm going to start with the easiest ones at the top. So these are just normal fractions, and then we're going to go on to mixed number ones as well. Now, the first thing you need to remember when doing these, you've got to make the denominators the same, okay? Otherwise you can't add or subtract them, okay? If you're not sure, the denominator, that is just the number on the bottoms of the fractions, okay? So for our first one, we've got 5, 6, add 1/2. So on the denominators, we've got the 6 and we've got the 2. So we think, what number do both of those go into? Now, luckily, 2 does go into 6. So I'm just going to multiply the second fraction by 3, okay? Because 2 times by 3 would give me the 6, which is what I wanted. And you've just got to remember, whatever you multiply the bottom by, you've got to multiply the top by as well, okay? So when we do that, the first fraction will stay the same, 5/6. And the second one, so 1 times 3 gives you 3, and 2 times 3 gives you 6. Now at this point, when you add them together, the denominator, so the bottom, will not change, okay? It will stay the same as 6. But we can add the top numbers, so 5 plus 3 is 8, okay? Now at this point, you can look at it and leave it like that, but the problem is you can simplify that because 2 goes into both of those. So if I simplify it, so divide both by 2, we get 4/3. Now, if the question said, write your answer as a mixed number, we then need to think how many 3's go into 4, which is 1, okay? But obviously we're going to have 1 left over because the 1 times 3 would only give you 3 3's, but we've got 4 3's, so there must be an extra 1 on top, okay? But it depends on the question. If it doesn't say that, either answer will be absolutely fine, okay? So for the next one, I'm just going to move it over a tiny bit. So we've got 4/5, take away 1/3. And again, we do it exactly the same way. So we're going to look at the denominators of both the fractions and think, what number do they both go into, okay? The smallest one I can think of is 15. Now, if you can't think of the number that they both go into, a quick trick is you can just multiply the numbers together and that will give you one definite number that they both go into. Okay, so looking at the first fraction, we want 15 as a denominator. At the moment, we've got 5. So 5 times 3 would give you 15, which means you've also got to multiply the 4 by 3, which gives you 12. And for the other side, we want 15 on the denominator. At the moment, we've got 3, so we need to multiply the top and the bottom by 5. And we just get 5/15. Okay, similar to adding, the denominator will not change, it will still be 15. Okay, we just subtract the top numbers. So 12 take away 5, which is 7. Now it doesn't simplify. One way you can tell 7 is prime, and 7 times 2 gives you 14, not 15. Okay, so we can't simplify that any further. Now for the mixed number ones, there are 2 different ways of doing it. Some people add the main numbers at the front and then just add the fractions separately, which is absolutely fine. I personally like to make them improper or top heavy, just so you keep getting the practice of converting between improper and mixed numbers, okay? But that's your decision, I don't mind either way. So, to start off with then, I'm going to make them top heavy. So this one is going to become 5/3, okay? If you can't remember how to do it, you do the whole number at the front multiplied with the denominator. So 1 times 3 gives you 3, and then you add the number that's on the top. So 3 add 2, which gives you 5, hence the 5 there, okay? Similar with the next one, so 2 times 7 gives you 14. 14 add the 1 gives you 15. Okay, and then we're very similar to what we've just done up here. Okay, so we look at the denominators and work out what 3 and 7 both go into. So both these numbers go into 21. There we go. Okay, so if we've got 3 at the moment, to make 21 we must multiply by 7. So 5 times 7 gives us 35. Okay, and for this one, if we want 21 on the bottom, we must multiply both by 3. So 15 times 3 gives us 45. Okay, again, when you add, the denominator won't change, it will still be 21. And we can add the numerators, which gives us 80. Okay. Check if it can simplify. This one doesn't, but we can convert it into a mixed number. So we see how many 21s go into 80, which is 3. Okay, I'm just going to do a little bit of jotting. So 21 times 3 gives us 63. Okay, we want 80. So there are 17 more that we want, so it'd be 17 out of 21. Okay. Now you could have done it the alternative way where you do the whole numbers. Okay, I'm just going to do it in green so you can see that both ways work. So the whole numbers, we've got 1 plus 2, which gives us 3. Then we do the fractions, so 2/3 plus 1/7. So we look at the denominators, 3 and 7 both go into 21. So to get 21 here, we must multiply both the top and the bottom with 7, which gives us 14. And this one multiply both by 3, which gives us 3 out of 21. And we add them together and we get 17 out of 21. And then these are added. So we have 3 and then 17 out of 21. Okay, so it still works either way. Your decision. Okay, so for the next one, I'm going to make them top heavy again, just because I quite enjoy it. Okay, so to make them top heavy, front number, multiply with the denominator, so 3 times 4 gives you 12, plus the 1 on top, 13. Next one, 2 times 5 gives you 10, add the 2, 12. Okay, then we need to make the denominators the same, so we've got 4 and 5, so I can think that 20 goes into both of them. So to get 20 on the denominator, we must multiply it by 5. So 13 times 5 is 65. And this side must multiply by 4. So 12 times 4 gives you 48. Okay, so again, it will still be out of 20. But then we do 65, take away 48, which is 17. Okay, which doesn't simplify, so we can just leave it as 17 out of 20. Okay, so that's how you do adding and subtracting fractions.